Hello again and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Emma. I also go by Coffee Vamp, and today we are going to be designing my Warhammer character. So I haven't played Warhammer before, but I have played other TTRPGs, and so I figured it would be fun to start my new sketchbook with the design for my new RPG character. So his name is Hans Hopeless. He is inspired, name-wise at least, by Hans Holbein, and the typical behavior of famous painters from back in the day. He is an angsty emo boy. When I had the idea for an artist that wants to die really dramatically to sell his paintings and to be like remembered and revered as an artist. And the Warhammer environment really lends itself to that because it's very easy to die in that game. It's a very horrid place and environment. And so I thought it would play in really well, and I made his doom, so everyone there is assigned like a doom or a predictable death. So I made his about syphilis, which, if you know your art history, you know. If you know, you know. And so he wants a bit more of a dramatic way to go out so that his paintings are more appreciated and revered and remembered and sell when he's dead. And I wanted to... So I rolled for his aesthetics, and he ended up being blonde-haired and blue-eyed and really strong. So it ended up becoming that I wanted him to also look like this sweet, princely, you know, put together, kind of noble because he's from a more well-off family. To be an artist in Warhammer, you know, you got to be a little higher up in the social pyramid. And he looks put together, but once he opens his mouth, you're like, wow, this kid really wants to die, huh? So generally the art that I've seen for Warhammer is, you know, some old school high fantasy. So I took a bit of inspo from that and a bit of inspo from the OGK fashion style. And so I wanted to so I took inspiration from that for the top, and then I did like a high fantasy kind of bottom portion. And, well, in the final design, I contemplated giving him poofy shorts and immediately changed my mind and realized I hated it. Anywho, so I wanted, you know, obviously the messy bedhead emo hair. I wanted dark colors for the outfit, but because he's from a more noble background, you know, maybe some purples, maybe gold. So I did a couple swatches. I sketched out the ideas for the outfit, his design, his facial features, and eventually settle on the final design for him on the third page. And I also wanted to draw some stuff that's relevant to him. So when I play TTRPGs, I usually play a bard or a rogue or some combination there with him. And so artist fit both of that really well. And so I, you know, did paintbrushes, a dagger, you know, the usual nonsense, and a painting that I drew as like a little inventory thing, but also in the final, you know, pose to get a feel for the character, because I just had the idea that he would have this like really basic traditional old school like still life painting of a skull like an old master would do. And this is just for some reason like the pinnacle of art for him. You know, it represents his true soul and his dark nature. I like playing fun, silly theater energy characters. So I just feel like it's just so fun to design a character, because I feel like there's so many fun ways to slip in personality, whether it's facial features, posing, clothing, what they're carrying around with them. It's so much fun to figure that stuff out. And because a lot of people have liked the sketchbook content, I figured it would be a fun way to do the design that I wanted to do anyway, and also share a bit about how I go about that with all of you. I always love coming up with fun RPG characters. I always like drawing them because, you know, why would I not want to? I put time and effort into creating this person, creating this character with personality and a backstory, and you connect with them when you're playing, and so why would I not want to play around and imagine what they look like? Another fun thing about how I use my sketchbook is that I tend to go just directly in when I use my sketchbook, because I want to keep things loose and confident. And so when I make a mistake with wax pastel or my pen, can't really go back, can't really undo it. So if I really hate it, or I really just completely change my mind, I'll just stick a piece of paper over it. Which I do when I tried doing the poofy shorts and immediately regretted my decision. And that's fine. Sketchbooks are meant to be messy and explored and goofed around in. So the pen that I'm using for this, and that I tend to use most in my sketchbook, is the Pilot Bravo. I am obsessed with this pen. I like a thick, consistent line when I'm drawing stuff like this, and it is just the smoothest and most consistent experience that I've had. It's so good. So I definitely think if you watched my most recent video about the Cartoon Heads Challenge, that you can definitely tell that I have gotten a bit more confident and looser with my design work since then. So I was thinking about doing another challenge soon, similar to that. Not exactly the same, but within the same, the same concept of repetition and forcing myself out of my comfort zone. I also wanted to, so when I ditched the poofy shorts, I realized that I wanted to go, and so I had a really strong vision of putting Hans in like a black goth maxi skirt, and so I gave him an edgy skirt with the slit bunch with a slit on the side, and it's like bunched up to a belt, like Ren Fair, a little bit of Ren Fair vibes, but not quite. And listen, he's feeling his feelings, you know, and he's trying to die anyway, so like fuck gender norms, you know. He doesn't care. And, you know, we love him. He's an icon for that. Is he problematic? Definitely. But, you know, he looks great. I've been doing a lot of TTRPG, you know, D&D, Vampire the Masquerade character commissions, and so I thought, you know what, I'll take the time, I'll draw one of my own characters, and nothing too fancy, like I said, just a sketchbook spread, just setting up the design, how I want him to look, and it's just one of my favorite things to explore characters like that. There's just so much fun you can have with the variety and the races in the games, and the design elements, and weapons, instruments, career choices, you know, like the drow, you've got your dragonborn, you've got your vampires, you've got, you know, do they play the lute, do they brandish a dagger, you know, do they have a longsword, a fun shield, are they a wizard, You know, there's so much to explore, and there's so much to have fun with artistically and creatively. I think that's one of my favorite things about games like this. If you've made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you'd like to see me do more stuff like this, let me know. And if you'd like to support me, hop on my Patreon. As always, I love my patrons. Thank you so much. You make this possible. You give me the time and space to create more content for you all. And there is something for everyone, whether you're on the lowest tier or the highest tier. And as always, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.